Coming up today on Coasting into Retirement, what kind of legacy do you want to leave? Today, we'll identify some of the key strategies to help you minimize your taxes, preserve your wealth, and help ensure your wishes are carried out. Plus, you'll learn actionable steps you can take to start working toward a lasting legacy for your loved ones. Coasting into Retirement starts right now.
Retirement is more than a destination. It's a journey that starts with a dream, a vision for the way you want to live, recharge, and give back. To get there, you need a plan to reach your retirement goals. Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors has the strategies you need to plan for income, taxes, healthcare, and more. For years, Gary has been helping families plan for a successful retirement. Welcome to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage.
Thanks for joining us today on Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage, and it's always good to be back with you, Gary.
Yes.
We've got an important topic today. I think this is one that is not only at the top level of what we should be thinking about, but not everyone wants to talk about it. And that's when we think about creating a legacy plan for our future, the loved ones that we have in our life, our family members, and there's a lot that goes into this, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and it's really like, how do you want things to go, right? And everybody's different. I have a lot of clients that are like, I'm not going to leave anything because I'm going to bounce the last check on the way out. And I have others that are like, I just want to leave them all the money I can and millions of dollars, and that would be great, right? So everybody's kind of different.
How do you talk to your clients when they come in and sit down, and maybe this topic doesn't come up until later in the meetings, but when it comes to kind of fitting it into that legacy piece, fitting it into that overall retirement plan, what does that conversation look like?
Well, usually I ask them, most of the people I see have moved here from another state, right? They moved here from like New York or Connecticut or some state outside of Florida. So we ask if they did any documents outside the state of Florida that need to have them updated in our offices. Now, I have a lot of people that come in, they don't have any documents at all, which is fine, but a lot of people think that it's very cumbersome, it's going to be very expensive, and it's going to be, too difficult for me to do, and it's going to be the stress I'm going to have because I'm going to try to create a will or a trust, and I don't want to think about, where my money's going to go, whose kid's going to what. I have people with second marriages, things like that. But we make it really easy, and I like joking about it. I talk about all the time, like, I know a lot about trusts, and I'm not an attorney, okay? My last name is Marriage, right? If I was going to be an attorney, I would have been a divorce attorney.
We did talk about this, yeah. It is a little funny.
Yeah, so, but I love estate planning because it really is like that last love letter you're going to leave to somebody. How do you want your money to go? Is there anybody you don't want it to go to, right? So we have that sometimes too. Sometimes I have clients that have one child has done very well and the other one not so well, right? So we want to have that money go a different way.
I think it's interesting to hear, and without getting into specifics about what each person wants. Some people want to leave no dimes left,
right,
and some want a lot of money. So I think the value of having a strategic legacy plan in place, what are the benefits of that moving forward if I choose to do that, and whichever way I'm going to go?
I think the first thing it's going to do is just give you kind of like that peace of mind, relaxing, know that if something happens, you know that your family is going to be okay, for one, right? That's the goal that we want to get to. But not only just that, it's going to make sure the assets are going to go to the people or charities you want it to go to without having to go through a long, lengthy process of going through the court system and paying all that money out too. We want to make sure it's tax efficient at the same time, right? So if you're going to leave money to a trust an incorrect way, like maybe like an IRA or something like that, have people, or they'll just write down everything to the estate. And let's say the estate of the Smiths or the estate of the Joneses. It's going to probate. And that's a very expensive process to go through. But I think it's just the peace of mind. Once it's set up and the people go through this process with this, every time I ask them, I'm like, how was it? And they're like, this is so much easier than I thought it was ever going to be. So I have several attorneys that come into our offices every single week and meet with our new clients and get these things updated.
Yeah, I always wonder, from the time that you first have the conversation, whether it's on the phone or in your office, sitting down and talking with these individuals who aren't clear on what a legacy plan looks like, maybe how they want it to look.
Right.
And then after that process, like you said, everybody's shoulders kind of go down a little bit, they feel a little better. I also wanted to ask you, how often do I need to be rechecking that. You brought up second marriages.
Right.
Family members change all the time. Family members get added
Yes.
to a legacy plan.
Kids get married. Kids get divorced.
What if something gets dropped and you don't realize it, and all of a sudden, first wife
Yes. Is now
is now the main beneficiary?
Oh yeah, those are fun. Those are fun times, right? I have some clients that email us or fax us or change their beneficiaries every single month.
Okay.
And that's because so-and-so didn't come cut the grass this weekend.
Oh.
And so-and-so didn't call me back. So, there's 17 beneficiaries that she has on a trust, and she's changing all these things. As long as you're above ground, you can make all these changes all you want. But yeah, I think it's, if you have somebody you want the money to go to a certain way, or if you have somebody that you don't want it to go to, the trust is the document, right? That's the one document that's going to protect your assets going forward. I love having trust. And I tell you what, when, God forbid that day ever comes and I have a client that passes away, everything is documented. Everything goes the way they want it to go to. And it's just comforting for me. And then sometimes I'll have these where one of the children come in and they don't get anything, So those are tough sometimes too. But at least I'm honoring my clients' wishes on how they wanted their assets to go.
Well, and when everything is down on paper, it's not on you, it's
Right.
not on anyone, it's just what these wishes were. But I think, just being able to hand that over and say, this is how it is.
This is how it is,
This
yeah.
is how it is. What else do we need to be thinking about when it comes to legacy planning? Because I think it seems cut and dry to someone like you, your team, you're doing this every single day. What if something gets dropped? How simple is it to put it back into that legacy?
Sometimes it's maybe like a painting on your wall. I've had clients pass away and they have these expensive paintings and they ask me like, do you know what these are valued at? I have no idea. I'll look at some of the paintings, I'm like, I feel like I could have painted that, right? And didn't know it's worth like—
My dog painted that.
Yeah, 30,000 or it's worth $3. I have
Right.
no idea. But if you have things that are like an asset, you want to list them. We've made a really cool checklist for the clients too that, anything that you have that you think is of a value or something, make sure you list that and list the value, because sometimes I'll have kids just come in and they just pick everything up and then they take it to a thrift shop or, they try to do a garage sale or things like that. We have no idea that they hid money in like suit jacket pockets down the hall. So yeah, there's a number of different things. But I tell you what, when you have this process done, it's just the peace of mind knowing that everything is going to be okay. It's going to go to your beneficiaries and your heirs most tax efficient way, and it's going to go to the right people the right way.
All right. Gary, thank you so much. Great insight so far. Stick around. We've got more to come. Next on our show, some of the top legacy planning mistakes you want to try to avoid. And later, Gary is in the hot seat for Retirement IQ. Stay tuned.
More is usually better, but not when it comes to taxes in retirement. Tax rates might seem high right now, but these could be the lowest rates you ever see again. Think how that could impact your retirement. The good news is there are strategies you can take advantage of now to help lower your tax bill later and help get the most out of what you've saved for retirement. But don't delay. Time is limited and rates could rise soon. So act now to get your free tax analysis. Help uncover hidden savings and optimize your income in retirement. Take action and claim your free tax analysis now.
You've heard it before. Measure twice, cut once. When it matters most, it pays to take that second look. What about your retirement? When creating a plan to help increase your spending power, reduce taxes, build a legacy, and create income you can't outlive, another set of eyes might be your sharpest move. Take advantage of our free second opinion service. We'll see what you have and tell you what you might be missing, all at no cost to you. Reach out now for yours today.
They say knowledge is power. Whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, you'll probably never say you know too much. The same is true with retirement. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be for everything in store. And we've made it easy to get started. This free offer is packed with knowledge to help answer some of retirement's biggest questions. It's our gift to you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Act now and claim your free offer today.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here once again with Gary Marriage. He is, of course, the founder of Nature Coast Financial Advisors. Today, we're helping you, our viewers, understand the importance of creating a legacy plan for your retirement and your family. And as we kind of started to talk about, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into this because I think it's all good to get a legacy plan in place, but then there are missteps that can come up along the way. We may not even be aware of them, especially if we're not really checking in with our advisor or if our advisor isn't checking in with us, vice versa. What else do we need to be thinking about?
Well, think about it if you move different states, right? And I have a lot of people that moved to Florida from another state. Sure. There's not too many people in Florida that were born and raised there, like me. Names change, right? People come in and out of our lives. People get married. People get divorced. So we got to make name changes on that as well. Sometimes you'll get a new inheritance, right? Or sometimes you will sell a piece of property, things like that too. So those type of changes, we need to make sure those are getting updated because, you know, if you just set this thing and forget it and go 3, 4, 5 years down the road, there's a lot of things that might be in that trust that you may not want in there anymore. You may have your ex-spouse still listed that everything still goes to him or her. And now, obviously, things have changed, and you may not want the money to go to that person anymore.
I bet when that happens, that's a fun conversation to have.
They're interesting appointments and visits we have in there, yeah.
When we think of missteps, how can we avoid some of these missteps? And I mentioned this at the beginning, checking in with our advisor, having our advisor that is going to check in with us. Is that kind of where it starts?
Yeah, some of it too, but also making sure, like, a misstep would be like getting your estate documents done at, you know, the office, you know, place, or, you know, just buying it online, or having your neighbor do it with a napkin and then you all sign it together and think that's a legal document now. That doesn't work anymore, right? So that's why I have attorneys come in our offices every single week and meet with our brand new clients, have these things looked at. You know, do you need to make any changes? You just moved here from another state. What do you have to do now to get these things updated? Or just if you don't have anything at all, it's fine. They'll educate you through the process. I love doing it too. Again, I'm not an attorney, but I've been doing this for a long time and I understand the things inside and out. And I know what it takes and what happens when one of my clients passes away and they have all their documents done. I know it's going to be a smooth transition to go to the surviving family. If they don't have the state documents, it's going to be expensive for the beneficiaries.
Your team is being very diligent, it sounds like, and that may not be the case. And I think that's also where, you know, you think about maybe it's time for a second opinion, somebody that and I know you can offer that as well, right? Yeah,
we do. So I love that. So this is a topic for me that I have, you know, a lot of knowledge in, and I've had so many experiences in 20 years of doing this. And when somebody has a trust and the family comes in, and they come in and they're asking about who gets what, how they get it, and when they get it. Now, I have some people that come in before you're even passed away yet, you know, just in the hospital, and they're like, hey, I'm getting mom's money, you know, how much am I going to get? And I'm like, wow. But, you know, if you have it structured the right way and you have everything in place and it's listed right, and you're having these things reviewed and updated to make sure that the names are correct, it's such a smooth process. And it's a lot easier for me in the offices, though, too. But at least I know my clients' wishes are granted and they're going the way they wanted to go, or make sure the money's not going to go to the person they didn't want it to go to.
Let's bring up the topic of taxes again. It's a big one, and I think, you know, we've touched on it a little bit, but just the tax consequences that could come with a misstep, if you will, when it comes to planning our legacies and having them in place, and then leaving that burden to our loved ones.
Right. So I'll have some people that will leave an IRA accidentally sometimes to their trust. And that can cause a really big tax nightmare, because now you're going from an individual and leaving it to a trust, which is not an individual. And sometimes if it's not done right, that trust can end up paying the highest tax bracket possible, when if they would just left the name of the children on there, or their kids, or whoever that was going to inherit that money, a lot less taxes on that as well. The other thing too that I like to stress to people is, you know, when you have a loved one pass away, just don't go in there and start liquidating all the assets, right? Selling everything off, the IRAs, the Roths, you know, the checking accounts, the savings accounts, the portfolios. Sometimes I'll have families come in and they've sold everything and they put it all in one single checking account. So what has happened? We basically, you ever seen salad dressing? When you let it sit for a while, how it's layered out.
This is not the analogy I thought we were going for, but
I know.
Salad dressing,
I use it because we all see it, and it's just, but if you shake it up, now everything's all mixed up, and now you got the Roths in there, the traditionals, is like, how much of this was tax-free, how much was taxable? So now I have to try to unwind it or wait for that salad dressing to...
The Italian dressing is what you're talking about, right? All the different layers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it could be a complete nightmare, but again, just making sure that you're working with somebody that's up to date with this stuff, asking you the questions, has anything changed? Has anybody come in your life or anybody come out of your life, since we last talked? Yes, so-and-so got married, so-and-so got divorced. Okay, we need to change that. We need to change that on your trust, those type of things.
Is everyone on your team up to I guess, to standard to have these conversations with clients? Is that just across the board what you do with your entire team?
Yeah, we do it in our reviews. So, we have some clients that we see 4 times a year. I have some clients that only want to come in a couple times a year, and that's because they live in a different state. So we'll do a Zoom or something, things like that too. But we're always asking the question: has anything changed? Has anything, drastically changed in your life since we last spoke that we need to get updated on any of your forms or, your beneficiary designations?
Yeah, I just think this is a piece of that overall comprehensive plan that we put together for retirement that sometimes gets dropped. And so I'm glad we've spent a lot of time on it today. Are we missing anything? We have just a few moments left here.
Well, if you have like money that you want to leave to a charity, right? There's other things you can do too. You can do donor advised funds. So I have a lot of clients that write checks every single month to charities, or they have their assets set aside and they're just going to leave it all to a charity. I'm like, here's a way that you can get a giant tax deduction right now. And I'm showing some people how to get up to $100,000 tax deduction. So if you're going to leave your money to charity, let's get those tax deductions now and we can start washing taxes out of it, things like that. There's all kinds of little things that we can do, but it's just sitting with you and find out, how do you want this money to go? Who do you want it to go to? And I'll still have some people that will say, I'm not going to leave anybody anything because I'm going to bounce the last check on the way out.
Not a single dime.
That's
all right.
right.
Well, thank you so much, Gary. All right, straight ahead, Gary is in the hot seat for Retirement IQ. And later, what are some simple, actionable steps you can take to help improve your financial future today? Gary has your checklist challenge. Stay with us.
In life, it's good to know what you have to work with. Knowing how many nails you have before building that birdhouse. Knowing how much sugar you have before starting to bake the cake. But do you know how much income you'll be able to count on in retirement? Retirement savings are one thing, but knowing how those savings can turn into income is another. Are you confident you know what your retirement income will look like? Call our team and get a free income analysis today. We can show you what you might expect for income in retirement. Find out now so you won't have to wonder later. Call for your free analysis today.
They say knowledge is power. Whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, you'll probably never say you know too much. The same is true with retirement. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be for everything in store. And we've made it easy to get started. This free offer is packed with knowledge to help answer some of retirement's biggest questions. It's our gift to you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Act now and claim your free offer today.
More is usually better, but not when it comes to taxes in retirement. Tax rates might seem high right now, but these could be the lowest rates you ever see again. Think how that could impact your retirement. The good news is there are strategies you can take advantage of now to help lower your tax bill later and help get the most out of what you've saved for retirement. But don't delay. Time is limited and rates could rise soon. So act now to get your free tax analysis. Help uncover hidden savings and optimize your income in retirement. Take action and claim your free tax analysis now.
And now it's time to put our knowledge to the test with this week's Retirement IQ. You ready for this, Gary?
I'm ready. Let's
Okay.
go.
These, I feel, these are kind of tough. We'll see if you're up for this today.
All right.
And our viewers as well. First question, 13 states levy an estate tax. Name one of them.
Easy, New York.
Okay. Wow, that was so quick. So quick. Okay, Connecticut, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland. Name a couple more.
Vermont.
Okay,
Minnesota.
good.
Rhode
Couple more,
Island,
yeah.
Maryland.
Massachusetts,
Did we say Oregon?
Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
I know this because a
Washington
lot of
State.
people move from those areas to Florida to try to escape like some of this stuff too.
That's what my next question was going to be. Is that kind of the
Yeah.
the trend?
It's not just for the weather, It's we have some other things that are
I mean,
really
the
good for it,
humidity
too.
doesn't just draw them in?
Not too much.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. I thought maybe it was a good thing. Okay, question number 2. What size of a state triggers the federal estate tax? This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it's a little over 13 million, 13.6, I think it
Okay,
is.
you
something like
are right on, 13.61.
that. Okay,
Yes,
cool. Yeah.
13.61 million. A lot of people probably not having to pay that because we don't have that kind of size of a
Right.
state.
Yeah, most of the listeners are at 13.6, I'm sure. Right
At
now.
least.
Yes.
At
yeah.
least. Call
Majority
in.
Of them.
Call
yeah,
in,
We see
for
them every
sure.
day, come in the offices and stuff. Yeah, so that's why we don't have too much of an issue with estate planning, right? Too much, like, oh, I'm going to have all these estate taxes. But Now, if they bring that down, if we have some changes where they bring that down to what it was back in the past, like 6 million, you know, or 3 million.
That's how much it's gone up.
Yeah, or even 600,000. It was back in the day too, so it can change.
Significant
Big time.
increase. And how often does that change?
You know, whenever they sign the PIN,
Right.
because everything is written in pencil. Basically, they just erase it and change the whole tax clause and stuff.
Just one more thing that we all have to pay attention to, and having a team like yours by our side certainly helps. Okay, here's another question for you. Do you have to take a required minimum distribution if you inherit an IRA from a parent?
Well, kinda. So if you inherit an IRA from somebody else, you're going to have to really spin that IRA down in 10 years or less. Now, there's some other rules that you might have. It might be in a structured settlement type of an IRA, might be in a different type of trust. Sometimes those will have different laws. It's kind of confusing, but just as a general rule, you're going to have to start liquidating that account over 10 years.
Does it matter if the parent had already started taking RMDs?
Yes, it can. So
Okay.
especially if they pass away at age like 73. I think of it this way. It's like a bucket of water. I poke a hole in it. I'm going to hand it off to you.
Okay.
It's still leaking, right? And then we're going to hand it off to somebody else.
Figure
it's
out a
still
way
leaking.
to- yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So when it goes to the kids or a non-spouse, we got to take it out over 10 years much faster. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right, here's another question for you. What are the current exclusions for the federal annual gift tax? I might have stumped you. Did I stump you?
Maybe, yeah.
How about our viewers? Are you stumped?
18,000.
Wow. Okay, right on. You just needed a minute,
I did.
just a minute.
Because they're trying to change that too. So
The annual gift tax exclusion for 2024 is $18,000, meaning you can give up to that amount
Right.
as a gift to another person without having to pay tax on that money.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, well, I feel like we have so much time left here. What else would you add to that in terms of like things to think about? Because I think sometimes, in all of these questions,
Oh, yeah.
really, when it comes to, we've talked a lot today about legacy and that piece. and
How
the
you're going to leave
tax
money too.
piece of it. Yes.
Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of clients that want to leave a lot of money to their kids anymore.
They
Most of my
wanna
clients,
enjoy it.
yeah, or they want to bounce the last check on the way out though too, right?
You hear that.
But yeah, so if you do want to leave money to somebody, we're trying to show you how to do the most tax efficient way too. Because we all know this, like the kids are usually in a higher tax bracket than you are because they're working right now, right? So if you're going to leave money to them, let's leave them tax-free money. And I bet if I talk to your kids, they'll want the tax-free money too instead of fully taxable money, coming to them.
See what Gary did there? He wants to talk to your kids, so not just you, right? It's
That's
about,
right.
it's this, keep this family going, keep this generational talk going. Okay,
That's right.
Great job. As always, thank you so much, Gary. And still to come, you'll learn some of the simple steps you can take today to help you start crafting your legacy plan. After all, how useful is knowledge without action? Stay tuned.
You've heard it before. Measure twice, cut once. When it matters most, it pays to take that second look. What about your retirement? When creating a plan to help increase your spending power, reduce taxes, build a legacy, and create income you can't outlive, another set of eyes might be your sharpest move. Take advantage of our free second opinion service. We'll see what you have and tell you what you might be missing, all at no cost to you. Reach out now for yours today.
They say knowledge is power. Whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, you'll probably never say you know too much. The same is true with retirement. The more you know, the more prepared you'll be for everything in store. And we've made it easy to get started. This free offer is packed with knowledge to help answer some of retirement's biggest questions. It's our gift to you. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Act now and claim your free offer today.
In life, it's good to know what you have to work with. Knowing how many nails you have before building that birdhouse. Knowing how much sugar you have before starting to bake the cake. But do you know how much income you'll be able to count on in retirement? Retirement savings are one thing, but knowing how those savings can turn into income is another. Are you confident you know what your retirement income will look like? Call our team and get a free income analysis today. We can show you what you might expect for income in retirement. Find out now so you won't have to wonder later. Call for your free analysis today.
Thanks so much for joining us today on Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage. We've had a very important conversation about just the value of creating a legacy plan for your future, for your loved ones. And as we've sat and listened to you, Gary, I think it's become very clear that having someone by our side, getting kind of the main points out to our viewers and in our minds, we can feel better about kind of moving forward with this topic, because it is overwhelming. It's emotional to think about, to think about the end of our life and leaving it to a loved one. But as we know, and we say this on the show a lot, knowledge is power. And that's where we are now. And I know you're going to kind of bring this all together for us today, but lots of great content today in our show.
Yeah, it is. And it's, again, just got to make sure this stuff is put together right. Because we can have like the best investments. We can do like everything perfectly. But if this stuff is not put together properly, it's all for nothing, right? And now I'll talk to a lot of people too, and they'll say, well, I had this all done, and I had it done years ago, and we looked at it and all that stuff. I'm talking to you, okay? I have so many people that come in like, I had this done years ago, we had it done up north, and we don't need to look at it anymore, and it's all fine. Those are the ones that I have the most problems with, because they still have maybe their ex-spouse on there, or the kids are listed on there, or maybe the kids are not listed at all, right? They had these documents done years ago before they even had kids, and now they have kids, and it doesn't show the kids are listed in there. So that's a problem, all right? But it is so simple to get these things done, and everybody thinks that this is like some huge process. It's going to be really expensive, and it's going to be very difficult for me to manage this and put all. I'm telling you, it's usually 30 minutes somebody sitting with us. Who gets the money? How do they get it? And who does it go to? And is there anybody that it doesn't go to? That's really
Those
it.
Beneficiaries.
Beneficiaries.
Yeah.
So like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years. I've had some clients that their biggest fear is not running out of money. Their biggest fear really is leaving money to their one son or daughter that they're scared that they're going to blow it through their nose because they're going in and out of rehab. The other child that they have is doing great, right? They're making good money, they're making good decisions, but the other one's not. So we'll have it to where it's structured out, their payments when they inherit it in, on different months, right? Or every single month at different times, or once a year. A lot of times I've created these where it just goes to them on mom's birthday. So that way they will always remember mom when that check comes in. We've structured some of these now with our attorneys that they only get equal to their salaries. Okay, so now they're only getting what they are basically working. And so if they're not working and they're going in and out of jail or something and they're not being a good steward of society, they may not get nothing out of the trust until they start making an income.
Okay, I'm taking notes over here. So my birthday.
That's right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think it is a memory piece too.
Yeah.
I think most people do have a good relationship. I'm sure it's a good situation, but and they want to be remembered.
Yeah.
They want their loved ones to have this money when they're gone, and we want it to all be happy, but not all the time. So it's good to have someone like you by the side.
Like I said, it's legacy planning. So I was like, let's make it on mom's birthday. It's your legacy. So make sure she always remembers mom.
Okay,
right?
I'm changing mine right now. All right, very good. All right, thank you so much, Gary. It can be tempting to put off some of the important decisions that go into your legacy plan. Gary and his team, they're here to help guide you through it. For Gary and the team at Nature Coast Financial Advisors, I'm Amy Sharp. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you next time.